I am an African. I owe my being to the hills and the valleys, the mountains and the glades, the rivers, the deserts, the trees, the flowers, the seas, and the ever-changing seasons that define the face of our native land. My mind and my knowledge of myself is formed by the victories that are the jewels in our African crown. The victories we earned from Isandlwane to Khartoum, as Ethiopians, as the Ashanti of Ghana, as the Berbers of the desert. Being part of all of these people, and in the knowledge that none dares contest that assertion, I shall claim that I'm an African.
The floor is yours. The next 20 minutes, let's get to know you a little bit more and get to understand who you are, what you're doing, where you're going, and how we can support you, because that's what this whole thing is about.
I'm called Mandela Salim Buluma from Uganda. I run an organization called God in Action Uganda that cares for 101 children. The team and I had a vision to buy a farm for the children. The purpose of the farm is to teach them skills, life skills, so that they become self-sustainable or they have what to do in the next years or years to come. With the help of Pete Cohen and the Caucus Foundation, over the last 24 hours, we raised 10,000 British pounds for the farm. Today is like the genesis or the beginning of a new chapter in the lives of the 101 children.
I wanted to tell us about the fundraising, about the farm. What happened? How did you get to the fundraising, and how did the
about getting
farm
to
come
the
around?
fundraiser is I met Hussein. Hussein is someone who was staying in Turkey. I talked to him. He was doubting in supporting because the link he was donating to was going to Leeds in the UK. He was doubting in donating some food. But when he donated, he was able to see the children, to see how his support has changed the lives of the children. So he promised me that I'm going to invite you and meet the family at Clubhouse. So when I got to Clubhouse, he invited me into a room. He told me, please, I have a friend into this room. I want him to say something. He's in Uganda. He cares for 101 children. I don't want to say everything for him, but I want you to hear from him. So they give me the ground. To me, my heart runs a marathon. I don't know what to start from. But then I say no. Whatever I'm going to say here is going to change the lives of the children. So I tell them about our story, about how we are struggling with food. I tell them the need for the food and the condition around because of COVID. They tell them the condition around and they believe. So they believe in me. They invite Pete Cohen into the room. He asks me, how may I help you, or what can I do for you? I told him openly. First I hesitated. I realized we've chased this dream of the farm for more than 4 years. How can we get it in one day? Or how can we get it in less than a month? I was doubting, but I told him openly. Right now, we are being challenged with the food, but we have a vision. We have a vision of being self-sustainable. We have a vision of being producers or suppliers. You know, when it comes to the farm, you mainly handle issues with production and supply. I don't expect someone to rear hens when he's not expecting to produce eggs or to supply the eggs. I don't expect someone to rear a cow when he's not expecting to get the milk or to supply the milk. Or I don't expect someone to rear a cow when he's not ready to utilize the manure, to utilize it as fertilizers. So who are we not to chase after this vision? So I told him about the vision and how it is going to support the children. He was very happy. He welcomed the idea. And he told me he's going to invite another person into the room. This was Chris of Caucus Foundation, who came into the room and listened to what I had to say. He listened to my story. He was happy about the story. And he said, I'm going to work hand in hand with God in Action Uganda to make sure you people are safe. And the children there are living great lives. This made me happy because it was the dream I was looking for. I was looking at working with people that know about what the children need. I wasn't meeting the people. Me and my team, we were challenged. We couldn't give these children the farm. But around they could show you, we have banana plantations. In the short time, we have rabbits. The rabbits are giving birth. To us, it is a challenge. You know, one day when a child came and asked, Uncle, I want to rear one rabbit, I got challenged. Because really, giving a child a rabbit, a child who has never reared a rabbit, it was challenging. How can I give you a rabbit? Yet I've never seen you rearing a hen. But when I talked to my brothers, they said, no, let's give them a pair, a male and female. So we gave them. And in a short period of time, we started seeing results. Rabbits are multiplying. Right now, we have 5 big rabbits and 5 small ones. Actually, 6 small ones. That gets a total to 11 out of 2. We are having 11. So what will it be when we have a hole of 30 by 20 feet, a hole where rabbits can sleep? Don't you think in a year we can have 300 rabbits or 400 rabbits? So who are we not to chase after the vision of the farm? These children need a life. They are not going to school right now because of lockdown, but they showed they have interest in producing and supplying. It's not that we are going to overwork them. You know, with the children, there is a habit. There are children that work hard and there are those that are lazy. You can't force them. But if a child says, I can plant maize, support the child. The same way my father supported me into a great Mandela you're listening to today, you're watching today, I didn't know I can become Mandela today. So right now, they're looking at me as Mandela of the 101 children of God in Action, Uganda. This is amazing. This is what I always looked for, you see? So when this fundraiser moved, in just 24 hours, the funds were raised. We reached the target. It was a blessing. That's why I can't stop thanking everyone that supported this. This is what we needed for 4 years, but in 3 weeks, out of teamwork, it was achieved.
This is a movie. This is not Netflix. Maybe one day it will be on Netflix. You know, what we did, you know, what we decided to do, a band of brothers and sisters who decided to come together and make a difference, you know. And then when we did this, we decided to do something else. And we became an unstoppable force of nature. We became like a Mother Teresa or a Nelson Mandela or a Martin Luther King, people who decided to serve and grow and make a difference.
We are in Uganda, Bugiri province, yes, to document Mandela's life and the home he has for the children. And I met him 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago on social media, Clubhouse. And I was in Gabon at the time. And here I am today. It's exciting. I can't believe I'm here myself. But how are you, Mandela? I think we met 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we met 2 weeks ago at Clubhouse.
At Clubhouse. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Gabon. And here I am because I think you have such a fascinating story.
I have a story that you really had to listen to, and the whole world is waiting to listen to. So this is just amazing. I'm so happy to have you here. You know, when you told me you're coming to Uganda, to me, I wasn't believing, because that distance over there, personally, when I have never stepped a plane, I look at someone who says is coming over here, I look at it as something tough. But it beats me that in less than 12 hours, you're already here and I'm looking at you.
I know, it was actually quite a mission to get here, but I'm happy I'm here, and I'm so happy to meet you because, to be honest, you really inspire me. So I just want to know about you firstly. You are young. When I was your age, I would have never been able to do what you're doing. Where were you born? How old are you? When were you born? Tell us about your youth.
Oh, this is Mandela Salim Bulma, one who was born in Nankoma village in the year 1995. So the Mandela you're seeing today is the Mandela that dedicated himself to the community. You know, it challenges to look at the community being low on things, yet you have a voice that people can listen to. You know, one day when I said just one thing about supporting the people around me, people came in. So to me, that's when I got to realize that I have a voice. And why shouldn't I use my voice to help those around me? Now, personally, I'm a graduate. I have a bachelor's in business administration.
Okay.
So, but that can't stop me from doing what I do. I'm supposed to be looking for a job, but you realize that looking for a job down here, it is a challenge. If no one knows you up there in those head offices, you can't get a job. And if you're a broke person and if you're poor, no one will give you a job. They have a saying that says mwana wani or kitu kidogo. Kitu kidogo is in Kiswahili. Okay. When you hear that word kitu kidogo, is like something small. So if you don't have that something small, How are you going to get the job? But what I'm doing is something that I'm doing out of love. With the team of brothers and sisters, friends that support me, friends that come in and say, no, let's do this, a team of youths. Why shouldn't we do that? It is at a free cost. You look at a child, get that child, bring the child here, support the child. That's not something difficult. I know children are tricky. They are tiresome to look at, but once you decide, once you make a decision, or once you decide to take a step, the journey will always be short for you because of the decision you have in the mind and in the heart. So I don't see this as challenging. You know, there are times you go low, you feel like, no, I can't manage this, but the people around you motivate you to do it even bigger. So when I tell you I'm 26 years old, most of the people look at my age and say, but how does he manage? I was at Clubhouse the other day, I had a girl. To me, I felt challenged because most people are looking at me as a young man, but the girl called Siona, she's 10, and she wants to change the world.
I heard her.
You see?
I
So
heard her.
who are we? Who are we? You're 20 years and above. You're 25 and above. You're 30. Why don't you do something? Why don't you set a legacy? To me, this is something that my father started. Him being a farmer and him being that out of the little that he would get, he would give to the people around. He would share with the community. The community loved him for that. So who am I to look at my father's legacy die? You know, it is always up to the boy children, mainly the boy children, to uplift what the parents started. So I can't say this challenging because when I used to be with my father, he kept telling me that, you know, you can be someone great. You can be someone great. The name, the Mandela that I gave you, is not for weak people. This is for people that have a voice. So who am I? That is enough inspiration. It's like you when I tell you that Kanya, the person you were named after, was good, was a motivational speaker. Who are you not to even learn the English? Who are you not to use your voice to help others? So who am I to look at my father's legacy going down? Something that he started more than 10 years ago, before we were even registered.
Tell me about that story of how it started, the home with the kids.
So, like I was telling you that it started with my father. Each time he would harvest, like, let us say maize, he grinds, and then he says, no, this time around, this weekend, let us get those children. You know, it beats someone reasonable to walk around, then a child comes to you and says, uncle, give me 100 shillings in Uganda, it buys a sweet. So, but if a child comes and begs for sweet, but you're capable of giving a meal, why shouldn't you? So he decided to do that. Come in, get a meal. They come in, they get a meal. He harvests, he gets a meal. So children took it as a habit. They realized that when we go to that man's home, we have a meal. We don't only have a meal, but we have water. You know, it is a habit that once you eat, you have to drink. Be it a heavy drink or a cool drink, but something like water, you have to take it. It will ease your digestion. I'm not good at science, but that's what they used to tell us as we were studying. So these children made it a habit. They made it a habit that they started coming. Time came and they wanted to sleep over. But my father's house was small. We were 7 children.
Yes.
The house is small. Our mother is one woman. You know, he was not a polygamous man. He had one wife with 7 children. You know, here in Uganda, even our president says that, please, give birth. You have a lot of land to cover. It is true, we have the land. But my father didn't give up on us. Each time he kept advising us that you people, I'm one man caring for all of you, but that makes me to be the general in the home. All of you are just soldiers below me. So to us, he raised us knowing that any one of us can do something. Each of us, we can do something. So when children started coming, he decided to give a room. We had 10 children. But each time those children would go back, they would tell others that, you know what, today we ate rice. Today we ate posho. You know posho?
No.
It is made out of corn flour.
Okay.
Posho is made out of corn flour. So they say, today we had posho. Why don't you join us tomorrow? You may get a cup of porridge. You know porridge?
Yes.
Yeah, you may get a cup of porridge. So children started coming. They know on a weekend, when he's free, we get a meal. So it became a habit. Things came down to 2010 when he said, no, let us get in more children. And the community came in. most of the people in the community are people who are relying on farming. So to a farmer who has got 20 bags of maize, him giving out 50 kilograms is nothing. So they started saying, no, the children we are helping are children in our community, children of our friends, children of our brothers, children of our OBs and OGs. Why don't we support them? So they started, someone has cassava, brings around. Children enjoy. Someone has maize, brings around. Children enjoy. So to him, they eased the load for him. It became late, not knowing that one person who is supporting all the 10 children, 15 children, now is being supported by the whole community. It is true, we could eat some of the food, but to him and to the community, they wouldn't see that. For them, they would know they are helping children of their former friends. Children of their former friends that left them. So it continued, it became a habit.
Mandela is so good. He's a good man. He helped us other times when we don't have clothes. He buy for us food. She give us because she is a good man. That man is the one God sent for us.
So how did the home grow from 10 to 15 to 100 kids and to adults?
Just like I told you that each time a child comes around, he says no. Yesterday when we went to that home, we got a meal. So, you know there's what they call that rumor. Rumor spreads faster than anything. You know, they tell us that light travels faster, but in real life, rumor travels faster.
Oh, the rumors.
So when I come and tell you about food and you're hungry, tomorrow you will follow me. Because you know the person I'm following knows where there is a meal. So you will follow me at all costs. So they started coming in as they shared the story. They started coming in. They come around, they know on Sunday, even before you call them, they are on the veranda around here playing from walking around there, walking around the house. They're just waiting for a call. They're just one call away that please come and share this meal. Just one call away. So it came down to, let me say, 2010, when the numbers had grown to 25 children that we were staying with. Just like I told you that it had become a load, but the community simplified everything. Simplified everything by bringing in some food, some supplies, some soap. Those who can't farm, but they have shops, you see someone passing around the evening and gives you a bar of soap. That soap, when someone comes around and gives you soap, if you have the soap, it is something small. But if you don't have the soap and you need the soap, it is something very big to you and it means a lot. So that's the kind of heart that when someone does something good for you, you do something good in return. So the numbers grew. 2010, the numbers grew. We knew we can no longer come out of this, but the community supported us. You know, it is like getting into music. You can't stop singing because the people around love music and they love your music. So you're motivated to keep singing, to sit and write, to compose, you see, to compose the music. So that the people supporting you are ever listening. They're ever looking at what does he have for us today? What does he have for us tomorrow? And what will he bring next week? So it becomes continuous. So we continued with this. Around 2016, the children had become many, to the extent that we couldn't support them in our own home. So we came and rented this place.
So you're renting this place?
Yeah. I will show you around. It is a big place.
Okay.
Yeah. It gives them freedom to play. You know, most people look at orphans as children who can't do anything. But to us, it is family. An orphan deserves a life. An orphan needs care. You don't have to remind the child that you are an orphan. By calling them an orphan, you're reminding them of the parents who are not there. So why should you call them an orphan? Call them family. Call them a child.
Yes.
Call them by name. You
They're
call
children.
It's like telling someone who doesn't play football but loves football, then you say you are lame. You're not inspiring the person to do any other sport.
That's
You're
actually a good
discouraging the
point.
person. That's why you see that when some of these children, because of being called orphans, they had given up on life. They went to streets to know, even if I stay at home, they are looking at me as someone who can't do anything. The community is looking at you as someone who is very weak. But why do we bring them together? To show them that you deserve to be loved. You deserve a chance to live. You deserve a chance to follow your dream. We have children that want to be doctors. We have children that want to be farmers, those that want to be teachers, those that want to be engineers. But how could they become so when they're on the streets? So that's why doing what we are doing, to some people look at it as something very big. Some people look at it as something small because for them, they can do it for even more than 101 children. But to us, it is life.
At what point do you believe you saw God in action?
You know, when actually you've reminded me, you're bringing it to the reason why we go to the name God in action. You know, it challenges to wake up one day when you don't have food, but you believe you'll get the food. Then all of a sudden, you get the food. All of a sudden, the children get school fees. That means there is God acting around you. That's why you came up and said no. When we were registering this organization in 2016, we said this organization needs a name that speaks for itself. That's why when we say that God in Action Uganda, it's not just a name that came from nowhere. It is a name because of what God has been doing for us. If really you don't have food, you're not digging, but you wake up one morning, you have food that takes you for a week. That means that God is around you and God is acting on your life. So when we say God in action for us, it means our everyday life. When I say God in action, I mean everything that God is doing for us, everything God has planned for us tomorrow, or everything that God has given us the previous days. So God in action is not just a name, but it is life. It is life to these children.
It's innate in all children to create, and we numb children by giving them an iPad, by putting them in front of a screen, by giving them food, which just almost makes them hyper and then sedates them. I mean, we all know this, but it's from what I've seen with these children, they have this burning desire to be involved and be invested in the growth of something.
You know, I believe that our parents had a big vision for Africa, perhaps even more than us, because there is a gentleman also in South Africa who was a Xhosa commentator, a rugby commentator, and his name was Kaunda. And you know, Kaunda from Zambia was similar to Nelson Mandela. So I believe that, you know, names that you are given do play a role in your life. What sort of thinking do you think our parents had when they were giving us names of great Africans?
Actually, I look at my father as the biggest role model or the biggest gift I've had in my life. Because when I was growing up, my father told me, you are Mandela. You are Mandela. The name Mandela is great. The name Mandela is everything. Act like a Mandela. He told me, I didn't name you Mandela to be Nelson Mandela. I didn't name you Mandela to be acting like Nelson Mandela, but be a Mandela of your own. Be a Mandela that people look onto. Be a Mandela that everyone wishes to be. I know people around here wish to be me, because I'm a Mandela that is not in everybody. I'm a Mandela that does what other people couldn't do. So each time my father would tell me that you are a Mandela in you, that is more than inspiration, but it is turning me into someone I didn't think I could turn onto my own. So when my father would tell me that you are a Mandela, Mandela was a great man, never disappoint me. Don't be a disappointment to my life. Be a gift and be a blessing to me, or be the reason why your followers should be greater people. Be the reason why the people around you are doing great things. So I don't think that me and my friends and my brothers and sisters, when we look after these children, we are making them weak. We are showing them that they also have to do the same thing tomorrow. They have to help at least a single person. So when they study and get into offices, we need to change that legacy of kitu kidogo. You understand kitu kidogo? What will it be when the child that you cared for 10 to 20 years ago is the child that is coming to visit you, that uncle, you remember when you gave me a plate of rice? Here is a bag of sugar. Or here is a car for you. Out of what you did for me, I have a family, I'm successful, I chased my dream, I now have a dream, I have a future. That child will look at you as allow me to use this word, will look at you as a God. Because you removed the child from no one and you helped him realize he or she can turn into someone. So I can't wait to see the children becoming entrepreneurs. I can't wait to see the children becoming great marketeers. I can't wait to see the children becoming great farmers they always yearn to be. I can't wait to see the children selling supplies and paying fees for others. This is what they need. They need life, and we are getting them the life. You people that supported, you people that donated, are giving these children a life. You look at it as something small, but you supporting 101 children, these 101 children are not going to sit with their talents. They are going to teach more 101, getting to a total of 202. That means 202 children, you thought you're supporting 101, but the number is going to go in rings. It can even go to 1,000. Out of 5 pounds, out of 1 pound, you're teaching 101 children. That is a legacy. You've set a legacy. You've set a pace. So thank you very much for everything. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for giving us time. And I hope to see you again when I come visit Uganda.
You're welcome once again. I'm really happy that you're even here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm an African. I'm born of the peoples of the continent of Africa. I'm also able to state this fundamental truth that I'm born of a people who are heroes and heroines. Whatever the setbacks of the moment, nothing can stop us now. Whatever the difficulties, Africa shall be at peace. However improbable it may sound to the skeptics, Africa will prosper.